Second, please maintain. Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering us here today for this pre-bidding conference. We acknowledge your guidance and wisdom in every step of our work, especially as we discuss and evaluate matters concerning our civil works projects. Grant us clarity of mind, integrity, and fairness in our deliberations.
May every word we speak and every decision we make reflect honesty, transparency, and a genuine desire to serve the public good.
Bless all participants, the members of the Bids and Awards Committee, the technical working groups, the secretariats, and our prospective bidders. May this conference be conducted in an orderly, productive, and meaningful manner, leading to successful projects that benefit our communities. We entrust this meeting to you, Lord. Guide us in upholding righteousness and accountability in all that we do. All these we ask in your mighty name. Amen.
Okay, please be seated. May I request the Secretariat for the role of attendance.
DC present, my name is Paul. Luisa Sortedao, present. Josephine Cacho, Rafael Manog, Emilio Nariz, Luis Cabalan, Mary Marilyn Garcines, Ergo Amachuelo Rosa, Maria Lizardo Ludican, Rosas Medi Balistoy, Uli May Turoy, Pino Aimi, Baleares John David, Sakdalan Amil present, Paham Rhea Eliza, and Alma Maria Pandan. So for this pre-meeting conference, we have 14 attendees with 1 representative from the interested bidder and 5 out of 5 BAC members present for this morning pre-meeting conference with the presence of the BAC Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Sakdalan. So since quorum is present, I now call this meeting to order. Good morning to each and everyone. Welcome to Bohol First District Engineering Office pre-bidding conference for date March 17, 2026 for our 4 civil works projects. So for this morning, we're going to discuss the following projects with contract ID number and contract name. First, we have number 1, 26HE0008, VIP multi-purpose buildings, facilities to support services, construction, completion of multi-purpose building, covered court, Barangay West, Poblacion, Alburquerque, Bohol. Coordinates 9.610025 north and 123.954425 east. For contract ID number, item number 2, 26HA0009. VIP multi-purpose building, facilities to support services, construction, completion of multi-purpose building, covered court, Barangay Cabad, Balilihan, Bohol, coordinates 9.7529780609065552 and north and 123.94463 353962537 east. For item number 3, we have 26HA0010 VIP multi-purpose buildings, facilities to support services, construction, completion of multi-purpose building, covered court, Barangay Guiwanon, Maribojoc, coordinates 9.73551 north and 123.81244 east. Last but not the least, we have item number 4, 26HA0011 VIP multi-purpose buildings, facilities to support services, construction, completion of multi-purpose building, covered court, Barangay Canangcaan, Corella, Bohol, 91714045786705594 north, 123.9404292873248 east. So to further discuss the details of the following projects, by the way, I wish to announce the General Appropriations Act or GA 2026 projects are for issuance of SARO or the so-called fee SARO status. So the procuring entity shall not award the contracts for procurement projects until the special allotment release order SARO has been issued, secured, or released. Okay, agenda items. So we have first, brief presentation explanation of the following: the basic contract data, requirements of bidding documents, C, criteria and procedure of for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and more. The documents to be submitted by the leaders. Okay, so let's proceed. The basic contract data, contract description, ABC, education, planning, and design. From planning design section, may I go on Engineer Emil Sakdalan to discuss the first, the four project subject for our preview conference this morning. Okay, so for our first contract ID number 26HA0008, contract name BIP Multipurpose Building Facilities to Support Services, construction completion multipurpose building Cabad Barangay West Poblacion on Alburquerque Bohol, 1.610025 North, 123.954425 East. We have an ABC of 1,980,000 with contract duration of 60 calendar days. For the second, okay, sige, proceed na lang siguro si Amil na mag-discuss for Barangay. Okay, Engineer Amil, you have the floor.
So for our first project this morning, we have this construction completion of multipurpose building covered court, Barangay. Project name, construction completion of multipurpose building covered court, Barangay West Poblacion, Alburquerque, Bohol, grade 9.610025 North and 123.954425 East. So for the scope of work, we have this Part A, item A118, provision of the Office of the Field Engineer. We have A1116, operation and maintenance for the Field Office of the Engineer. Part B, we have B51, project billboard and signboard. B71, occupational safety and health. B91, mobilization and demobilization. For earthworks, we have 8031C, structure excavation hard drop. 8041C, embankment from roadways and structure excavation hard drop. And 8047, gravel field. For Part D, we have 901C, structural concrete 3000 PSI class A, 28 days. Item 902-1A1, reinforcing steel deformed, grade 40. Item 902-1A2, reinforcing steel deformed, grade 60. And 903-2, formworks and folds work. For Part E, we have 10473, metal structure accessories. 10474B, metal structure accessories, third buckle. 10475C, metal structure accessories, cross bracing. 10475D, metal structure accessories, steel plates. Item 10477, structural steel. 10478A, structural steel trusses. And item 10478B, structural steel purlins. For Part F, we have 10132B, fabricated metal roofing accessories, gauge 26, 0.551 mm flashing. Item 10132C, fabricated metal roofing accessory, gauge 24, 0.071 mm gutters. And item 1014182, pre-painted metal sheet above 0.427 mm, corrugated long span. For Part G, we have 110010, conduits, boxes and fittings, conduit works, conduit rough-in. Item 110133, wires and wiring devices. And item 11021, panel board with main and branch breakers. Item 11031, lighting fixtures. And for the last part, we have painting works, 10321C, painting works, and steel. So that is the scope for the first project.
Okay, is there any questions or clarification for the first contract? With the chair here stand, let's proceed to the next contract, and may I request Engineer Emil to please read only the item description, then the quantity and the unit of the per item. You can skip the item number, but description of the quantity and okay. So si okay na si Emil na lang.
So for our next project, the contract name, BIP Multipurpose Building Facilities to Support Services, construction completion of multi-purpose building covered court, Barangay Cabad, Balilihan, Bohol, with 9.75297806090655 North, 123.944633539625337 East, with an approved budget for contract 1,980,000 with a contract duration of 90 calendar days. So, provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis, quantity of 3 unit month. Operation and maintenance of field office for the engineer, quantity 3 unit month. Permits and clearances, we have quantity 1, lump sum, project billboard and signboard with a quantity of 2 each. Occupational safety and health, quantity 1, lump sum. Mobilization and mobilization, quantity 1, lump sum. Removal of structure and obstruction, quantity 1, lump sum, structure excavation common soil with a quantity of 12 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway structure excavation common soil with a quantity of 6.9 cubic meter. Embankment from barrow common soil with a quantity of 36 cubic meter. Gravel field, a quantity of 6.4 cubic meter. Structural concrete, 3,000 PSI class A 28 days with a quantity of 17 cubic meter. Reinforcing steel deformed grade 40 with a quantity of 1,083.60 kilogram. Reinforcing steel deformed grade 60, 959.6 kilogram. Formworks and false work with we have 69.40 square meter. CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel 100 mm with a quantity of 44.20 square meter. CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel 150 mm 154.20 square meter. Wall 10 mm metal frame fiber cement board 33.2 square meter. Cement plaster finish we have 463.60 square meter. Metal structure accessories lump sum 1. Metal structure accessories steel plates with a quantity of 168.40 kilogram. Structural steel 1 lump sum. Structural steel trusses 873.70 kilogram. Structural steel purlins 734.70 kilogram. Fabricated metal roofing accessories gauge 26 0.551 mm. Range hip rules 6 linear meter. Fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26 0.551 flashing 18 linear meter. Fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 24 0.701 mm gutters 22 linear meter. Fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 24 0.071 gutters 22 linear meter. Pre-painted metal sheets above 0.427 mm. Rib type long span 992.50 square meter. Finishing hardware we have 1 set. Frames, jam seals, head, tromsoms, emulsions 2 sets. Doors, wood panel 3.40 square meter. Aluminum glass window sliding type, we have 2.9 square meter. Painting works masonry concrete 309.40 square meter. Painting works steel 171.70 square meter. That is the scope for our second project.
Okay, is there any questions or clarifications for this project? The chair here is none. Let's proceed to the next contract.
For our third project, we have a contract name, BIP Multipurpose Building Facilities to support services construction completion of multipurpose building covered court, Barangay Guiwanon, Maribojoc, Bohol, 9.73551 North, 123.81244 East, with an approved budget for the contract, 1,980,000 and contract duration of 60 calendar days. For the scope of work, we have provision of field office for the engineer rental basis, month. 2, operational maintenance of field office for the engineer, quantity 2 month. Project billboard, signboard, 2 each. Occupational safety and health, lump sum 1. Removal of structure and obstruction, lump sum 1. Structural concrete, 3000 PSI, class A, 28 days, 0.10 cubic meter. Reinforcing steel, deformed, grade 40, 3.70 kilogram. Formworks and false work, 26.30 square meter. Structural steel, lump sum 1. Lighting fixture, lump sum 1. Painting works, masonry concrete, 553.30 square meter. Painting works steel, 116.20 square meter. Textured finish, 574.80 square meter. Ventilating equipment, lump sum 1. So that's the end of the scope of the project number 3.
Okay, is there any questions, clarification for the said project? The chair here stand, let's proceed.
So for the last project for this morning, we have this contract name, BIP, Multipurpose Building Facilities to Support Services Construction Completion of Multipurpose Building Covered Court, Barangay Canangcaan, Corella, Bohol, 9.7140 45786 705594 123.9404292873 with an approved budget for the contract 1,980,000 and contract duration of 60 calendar days. So for the scope of work, so we have this provision of field office for the engineer rental basis, quantity 2 month. Operation maintenance of field office for the engineer, quantity 2 month. Project billboard and signboard, 2 each. Occupational safety and health, lump sum 1. Structural excavation, soft rock, 14.80 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway structure excavation, soft rock, 13.2 cubic meter. Embankment from barrow common soil, 2.60 cubic meter. Gravel field, 1.20 cubic meter. Structural concrete, 3000 PSI, class A, 28 days, 18.8 cubic meter. Reinforcing steel, deformed, grade 40, 973.10 kilogram. Reinforcing steel, deformed, grade 60, 672.70 kilogram. Formworks and false work, 145.5 square meter. CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel, 150 mm, 21.8 square meter. Cement plaster finish, 21.80 square meter. Metal structure accessories, 1 lump sum. Metal structure accessories, third buckle, 12 each. Metal structure accessories, cross bracing, 94.70 kilogram. Metal structure accessories, steel plates, 165.5 kilogram. Structural steel, 1 lump sum. Structural steel trusses, 736.9 kilogram. Structural steel purlins, 395.60 kilogram. For roofing works, fabricated metal roofing accessory, gauge 26, 0.551. Flashing, 67.30 linear meter. Fabricated metal roofing accessory, gauge 24. 0.701 mm gutters, 220 linear meter. Pre-painted metal sheets above, 0.427 mm corrugated long span, 80.60 square meter. Pre-painted metal sheets above, 0.427 mm rim type long span, 32.70 square meter. For the painting works, we have painting works steel, 899.70 square meter. And that's the end of the scope of the fourth project.
Okay, is there any questions or clarification for the said project? The chair here stand. Thank you so much, Engineer Santalan. So let's proceed to the requirements of bidding documents for civil works. Review of requirements of bidding documents. The contractor shall use the prescribed standard forms posted in the PLJEBS and DPWH website and issued in the bid documents. The bidders are encouraged to have their bid documents neatly bound, paginated, properly sequenced, and provided with simple ear tags to facilitate examination of the bids. Each bidder shall submit one original of the technical proposal and one original of the financial proposal and clearly mark each as original technical proposal and original financial proposal. In addition, the bidder shall submit one copy of the technical proposal and the financial proposal and clearly mark them copy number 1, technical proposal, and copy number 1, financial proposal. Bidders shall enclose their technical documents in one sealed envelope marked technical component and the financial component in another sealed envelope marked financial component, sealing them all in an outer envelope marked bid. In the event of any discrepancy between the original and the copies, the original shall prevail. The bid shall be typed or written in ink and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized representative. All envelopes shall A. contain the name of the contract to be bid in capital letters. B. bear the name and address of the bidders in capital letters. C. be addressed to the procuring entity's back. D. bear the specific identification of this bidding process. And E. bear a warning do not open before the date and time for the opening of bids. Is there any questions or comments from the prospective bidders and back members? No? So the chair is done. Let's proceed. For the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award for civil works. A. Explanation of criteria for eligibility screening. To be eligible for the contract, a contractor must meet the following eligibility requirement. A. Filipino citizen sole proprietorships, cooperatives and partnerships, or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines. B. Net financial contracting capacity and FCC at least equal to the ABC. C. Single largest completed contract SLCC completion of singular contract costing at least 50% of the ABC within 5 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids. Next. D. Registered with and classified by the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board, PCAP, with PCAP license category depending on the approved budget for the contract ABC. So, for the following contract ID number, 26HA008, 26HA009, 26HA0010, 26HA0011, the same ABC of 1,980,000 pesos, required license category, all in small b. Contractors under small a and small b categories without similar experience on the contract to be bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than the allowable range of contract cost ARCC of the registration based on the guidelines as prescribed by the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAP. Eligibility screening will be conducted electronically in the district office by PCAP with the assistance of the Technical Working Group TWG using the Civil Works Application or CWA. B. Explanation of criteria for examinations of bids. The DPWH will use non-discretionary pass-fail criteria in the preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, and post-qualification process. If the Bids and Awards Committee BAC determines that the bidder with the LCB passes all the criteria for post-qualification, it shall declare the said bid as the lowest calculated responsive bid or LCRB and shall recommend to the HOPE the award of contract to the said bidder. Explanation of criteria for awarding contracts. The award criteria for all the branches will be LCRB or lowest calculated responsive bid. The bidder with the LCRB will be required to submit to the procuring entity within 10 calendar days from his receipt of the notice of award the following documents. A. Authority of signing official or board resolution with secretary certificate. B. Performance security. C. Construction methods. D. Construction schedule in the form of per CPM diagram or precedence diagram and bar chart with S-curve and cash flow. E. Manpower schedule. F. Equipment utilization schedule. G. Contractors all risk insurance or carry. H. Latest income tax and business returns. I. For a local contractor certification under oath stating that the contractor is free and clean of all tax liabilities. J. Submission of the construction safety and health program shall be in accordance with DO number 241 series of 2024. DEO number 2410/2024 guidelines on the processing, approval, and reporting system of construction safety and health program (CSHP) for DPWH infrastructure projects. First, the contractor shall submit the CSHP not later than 3 calendar days from the issuance of NOAA to give time for its evaluation and approval. The head of IO, upon the recommendation of the CSHP focal person, shall approve the CSHP not later than 7 calendar days from the issuance of the NOAA to the contractor. The DPWH approved CSHP is a requirement for the processing and approval of the contract agreement. Moreover, no claims by the contractor advance payment, first progress billing shall be processed and paid without the submission of DPWH approved CSHP. The DPWH will only approve CSHP through a form prescribed by the DOLE. If found in order, the DPWH project shall not be implemented without the approved construction safety and health program by the head of the DPWH implementing office. In the case of the failure, refusal, or inability of the bidder with the lowest calculated responsive bid to submit the required documents within the prescribed period, through its own fault, the bank will be constrained to disqualify the said bidder and shall initiate and complete the post-qualification process on the bidder with the second lowest calculated bid. Is there any questions or comments from our prospective bidders and bank members? Okay, so the chair hears none. Let's proceed to the next agenda. Documents to be submitted by the bidder and reminders on the submission of bids. Technical proposal. The technical proposal shall contain but not limited to the following: valid and updated PhilJEB certificate of registration, platinum membership. The PhilJEB certificate of platinum registration and membership must be updated with the current Class A eligibility documents covered under Section 20.2.9 of the .1 of the IRR of RA 12009. Failure to comply results in the automatic suspension of its validity. Moreover, the submission of updated Class A documents, example, registration certificate, mayor's/business permit, tax clearance, pickup license, and audited financial statements as part of the bid is no longer acceptable. Technical proposal. The technical proposal shall contain but not limited to the following: pickup license and registration in case of JV, a statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid, statement of the bidder's SLCC similar to the procurement project. The SLCC shall be supported by an owner certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the constructor's performance evaluation system or CPES, or a similar performance and monitoring system. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. The bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity and FCC with his audited financial statement, duly stamped, received by the BIR or its authorized institutions, or electronic submissions, e-submission with BIR confirmation receipts are accepted. Joint venture agreement, GVA if applicable. Bid security in the prescribed form, amount, and validity period. The bidder may submit a bid security declaration or any form of bid security in amount equal to a percentage of the approved budget for the contract ABC in accordance with the following amount. Acceptable forms, bid security form. Number 1, cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a bank, minimum amount 2% of ABC. Second, bank draft or guarantee or irrevocable letter of credit issued by a bank, provided, however, that it shall be confirmed or authenticated by a bank if issued by a foreign bank, 5% of ABC. Surety bond callable on demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security, 5% of ABC. Project requirements. First, the organizational chart for the contract and not the firm's organizational chart. The organizational chart should reflect the key personnel assigned to the contract. Second, list of contractors, key personnel, example, project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, safety officer, foreman, and first aider to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data. Also to be attached are the letter of nominee, certificate of employment, and biodata for each pledged key personnel. General requirements for all key personnel. The minimum work experience requirement for the key personnel are the following. For project manager and project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, safety officer, we require the minimum year of similar experience, same position of 3 years. For first aider, we require a minimum year of similar experience of 2 years. For project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer, we require a minimum years of total work experience, same position of 5 years. And for first aider, we require a minimum years of 2 years. The experience means total years of civil work experience of any nature in construction and engineering works and or consultancy services. Include the tax identification number of all the key personnel and their biodata. Additional requirements for the project engineer: attach a photocopy of current and valid PRC license, attach proof of DPWH accreditation as PE, include the contact number of the PE in the biodata. Additional requirements for the materials engineer: attach DPWH accreditation certificates as ME, attach a photocopy of current and valid PRC license, include the data number of the ME in the biodata. Additional requirement for safety officer: attach a photocopy of certificate of training, completion of construction and safety health course for site safety engineers. Additional requirement for first aider: attach a photocopy of certificate of training issued by Red Cross. DEO number 9 series of 2012, wherein states among others that item 6, if a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that first, the personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and second, she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualification as certified by the head of the implementing office. Item number 7, the bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that he or she will work for the bidder if it is awarded the contract under bidding. The certification under item 6 or item 7 shall be included in the envelope of the sealed first envelope of the sealed bid. DEO number 227 series of 2024, suspension of Department Order number 148 series of 2024. In order to address the foreseen delay in the implementation of new infrastructure projects due to the unavailability of DPWH accredited project engineers who are currently assigned to contractors and consultants to ongoing projects, the implementation of the Department Order number 148 series of 2024 RE guidelines in the accreditation and assignment of contractors and consultants project engineers is hereby suspended until further notice. This directive to suspend the application of DEO number 148 series 2024 shall not apply to the implementation and construction of buildings and bridges. Thus, for construction of buildings and bridges, accredited project engineers shall be assigned by contractors and or consultants. Project requirements. Number 3, list of contractors' major construction and laboratory equipment units to be assigned to the contract supported by certificates of availability using the prescribed format, which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreement, supported by proof of ownership and certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor vendor for the duration of the project, and certifications from the vendors that the equipment units under purchase agreement shall be available for this contract. The contractor should also have a point of reference for equipment or indicate the location for verification. The contractor shall include his laboratory equipment to be pledged to the contract. The list of laboratory apparatus equipment should be enumerated in detail. Number 4, omnibus source statement in the prescribed form. Number 5, ISO 9001:2015 certification for contractors with pickup size range of medium A and above. Number 6, as per a numbered memorandum dated February 24, 2026, sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership shall no longer be required. In lieu thereof, the bidder shall submit his latest general information sheet, GIS reflecting the beneficial ownership information, BOI, duly filled with stamp received by the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC), applicable to entities classified under Section 82 of the IRR of RA 12009, such as corporations, partnerships, private sector organizations, foundations, and associations. Financial proposal. The financial proposal shall contain but not limited to the following. First, duly signed bid form. Second, bid prices in the bid of quantities. Detailed estimates, summary of labor rates, unit prices, equipment rates, and cash flow by quarter one. DEO number 30, Series 2025 guidelines in the preparation of program works and approved budget for contract ABC to be used by the contractors in the preparation of their unit prices. The following items shall not be subjected to OCM and profit markup: mobilization and demobilization, provision of service vehicle, permits, and clearances. The following non-civil works items shall not be subjected to OCM markup: field, laboratory, office, and living quarters, rental pieces, furnishing of furniture, laboratory equipment, survey equipment, and consumables, assistance to the engineers, photographs, health and safety, traffic management, environmental compliance, communication equipment, etc. DEO number 30, Series 2025, percentage to be used for OCM and profit markup. So, we have estimated direct costs or EDC up to 5 million indirect costs for percentage for OCM and profit. For up to 5 million, we have an OCM percent of estimated direct cost of 15%, profit of 10%. Total indirect costs percent for OCM and profit 25%. Above 5 million to 50 million, we have OCM of 12% and 8% profit. Total of 20%. Above 50 million up to 150 million, OCM of 10% and a profit of 8%. Total of 18%. And above 150 million project, we have OCM of 8% and a profit of 8%, a total of 16%. Per unnumbered memorandum dated July 15, 2025, VAT component shall be 12%. Reminders of the submissions of bids shown below are the dates of availability for the bidding documents that may be acquired by interested bidders and its corresponding applicable fee. Contract ID number 25HA008, 26HA008, 26HA009, 26HA0010, 26HA0011, all the same applicable fee amounting to 5,000 pesos. Date of availability for the bidding documents, March 6 of 2026 to March 31 of 2026 until 10 a.m. on. Upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the Government Procurement Policy Board, GPPB, the interested bidder shall get the bidding documents from the Procurement Staff Office, DPWH Bohol, First DEO, DAO, District Canangcaan City, Bohol. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically online. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. Similar to manual submission, the guidelines for the preparation and submission of an electronic bid are contained in the bidding documents. Bids shall be submitted by the bidder himself or his authorized liaison officer as provided in Section 54.1 of the IRR of RA 12009. Bidders shall submit their bids through their respective duly authorized representatives. To further clarify, the bidder's representative must be named in the Contractor's Registration Certificate, CRC, recorded in the DPWH Civil Works Application, CWA. Otherwise, there must be a duly signed and notarized Special Power of Attorney, SPA, for sole proprietorship or board partnership, joint venture resolution with Secretary Certificate for corporation, partnership, joint venture, cooperative that is project specific presented in hard copy, and a soft copy thereof must also be emailed to racines.mary_nominate@dpwh.gov.ph using the official email of the bidder registered in the CWA for verification. Failure to send a copy of the documents mentioned above from the official CWA registered email address of the bidder shall result in the bidder not being issued an order of payment or being allowed to submit draft bid proposals. Bids must be duly received by the Box Secretariat for manual submission or at electronic bids_bohol1@dpwh.gov.ph for electronic submission on the scheduled on or before 12 noon of March 31, 2026. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bid opening shall be on March 31, 2026, 1:30 p.m. at the back conference room, DPWH Bohol First DEO, the District of Balilihan City, Bohol, and shall be live streamed to our YouTube channel. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders, representatives who choose to attend the opening bids. Is there any questions or comments from our prospective bidders and back members? Okay, the chair hears none. Let's proceed for the common reasons for bidders' disqualification. During preliminary examination of bids, lacking documentary requirements, unauthorized documents, expired legal documents, example, PhilJab certificate, pickup license, mayor's permit, tax clearance certificate. During detailed evaluation of bids as calculated / evaluated amount exceeding the ABC, incomplete or incorrect pay item support. During post-qualification process, pledged equipment does not meet the minimum requirements specified in the bidding documents, failure to attach proof of ownership or lease agreement or purchase of agreement on pledged equipment, expired accreditation of project engineer or materials engineer. DO number 28 series of 2024, the 3-strike policy in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services contracts wherein it states, among others, that the following are the classification of offenses that triggers 3-strike policy: withdrawal from the bidding process, submission of a non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid document, submission of late bids without valid reason as determined by the BAC, submission of patently insufficient bid. This is in accordance with the 2016 RRIR of RA 9185 and has not yet been superseded. Is there any questions or comments from the prospective bidders and back members? Okay, the chair hears none. Other matters? Ma'am? So, emphasis on section 61.1 of IRR of RA 12009. Members of the BAC, its staff and personnel, secretariat, and DWG, as well as observers, are prohibited from making or accepting any communication with any bidder regarding the evaluation of their bids until the issuance of the notice of award. However, the BAC, through its secretariat, may ask the bidder in writing for clarification of its bid. All responses to requests for clarification shall be in writing. The DPWH Bohol First District Engineering Office reserves the right to reject any and all bids declare a failure of bidding or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA 12009 and its IRR without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. Summary of proceedings, including supplemental bid bulletins to be issued. For further information, please refer to Engineer Mary Noelin F. Racines, Engineer 3, Procurement Head Back Secretariat, Procurement Staff, DPWH Bohol First District Engineering Office, Daod District, Balilihan City, Bohol, 6300-038-422-8317, local 62030, the email address of racines.mary_noelin@dpwh.gov.ph. Also, you may contact Engineer Predecessor G. Cadao, yours truly, Engineer 3, Chief Planning Design Section, Chairman, Bids and Awards Committee, DPWH Bohol First District Engineering Office, Daod District, Balilihan City, Bohol, 6300. Telephone number 038-422-8317, local number 62021, email address cadao.julius_cesar@dpwh.gov.ph. So that ends our pre-bidding conference for civil works this morning, March 17, 2026. Thank you and God bless everyone for attending.